Yes or no on the Sens in the playoffs?
Sens are a playoff team.
Look at that. That is strong talk.
It's not strong.
It is strong.
This team has missed the playoffs for 7 years.
Yeah.
They now have...
It's a strike against, isn't it?
Yes. But just like the Leafs...
This could be interesting.
No, not just like the Leafs. But they have a new coach.
Yep.
They have a new goalie.
Yep.
That they expect a lot from, and I think they're going to get from.
Mm-hmm.
And
rejigged the D a little bit. Did you get a better player than Jake Chychrun? No. Did you get a better fit? Yes. Like, that's big, right? How are we going to set this up?
So when there's so much focus, like hyper focus when you're in the market on, and I joked about at the beginning of the program about the third and fourth line and the sixth, seventh D and, you know, what's going to happen with the depth. Am I sold on their 560? No. But
every team's got flaws in the cap era, right?
Exactly.
Nobody's got the perfect roster.
This team, to me, has the right coach at the right time. He's a hard ass. He doesn't put up with crap. And if you are not playing well, he does not care who you are. And that's different from an Ottawa perspective than they've had previously.
Yep.
They have a number one goalie that I think when you listen to that guy, I want to listen to him more in Linus Ullmark.
I liked he slapped down a certain question the other day that I found very enjoyable. That maybe.
Yes. Have you done all you can do in the preseason? Like, have you accomplished all of your goals? Like, what a dumb question. Seriously. Yep. Have you accomplished all of your goals? We haven't played a game yet, was his answer.
And it was the right one.
Right.
So,
but I love that.
Of course.
I'm not going to agree with everything that he says.
No. But if you want the standards to be raised around here, then let's get past that nonsense and let the guy get into some games and play and expect a fiery competitor to have a fiery answer if you lob nonsense like that at him. So I've got them very similar, in my opinion, to Winnipeg. It's going to be right in the mix. I actually said, and I'm not feeling great about it now, about a week ago, both Ottawa and Buffalo will pass Detroit. And if you recall, Detroit was right there on the verge.
Oh, don't worry about the Sabres going up against the juggernaut Stanley Cup winning New Jersey Devils. Don't judge them against greatness.
And then they come home 0-2 and you're
don't judge that.
So I did say to Rob, I'm just going to put it on the record with you as well. Sheldon Keefe this year is coach of the year.
Oh,
this is.
I've already bet on him before.
This
like 2 months
is the
ago.
way this stuff works.
When he got the job, I bet on him to win coach of the year.
See, not until he got Markstrom. And I guess I don't remember in which order that happened. But there are criteria for this stupid award. It's a team that finished poorly and then suddenly finished good. That guy is going to be in the mix. A guy who, usually we always say, show me a good coach, I'll show you a good goalie. Hey, look, Markstrom in town now. And can we twist the knife a little bit on Toronto and be like, I think
Sheldon
all of
Keefe's
these. He is a good coach.
He's a good coach.
I think all the ingredients for the coach of the year soup exist in New Jersey.
Jack Hughes got hurt last year. They had no goaltending.
Dougie Hamilton is back in the line. That guy might be in the Norris mix again.
Dougie Hamilton, Jack Hughes got hurt. They had no goaltending whatsoever.
So all I'm not saying that this is out to get anyone.
No.
I'm just saying the ingredients are all there for Sheldon Keefe.
100%.
I guess we can talk about New Jersey another time. As we stay in Ottawa, for me, they're in that mushy middle, could go either way with Winnipeg. So I said them and Buffalo would pass Detroit and be in the mix. I think there's a chance, looking at that other division, the Atlantic, that we're the Atlantic, that the Metro only gets 3 teams. And I think if that happens, if Ottawa is 5th and crosses over, they can get in. I'm just not seeing any of Boston, Toronto, Florida, or Tampa having gotten significantly worse enough for any of those 3. Like, I know Detroit was right there. I just don't think they're any good. Ben Sherratt is still in your top pair. He's another year older. Yeah. I don't know about their goaltending. I think Buffalo and Ottawa can take a step forward and be right there and maybe get in on the crossover. They're coming from a long way back to have to pass any of those first 4 teams.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at
like you're saying they're in,
When you look
Who's
at
out?
stats, that's true. I don't care how they finished last year. I care who their coach is. I care who their goalie is. I care how they.
That's all reasonable. But who's coming out?
Who's coming out?
If Ottawa's in, who's out?
Oh, I think Tampa's out.
So they did lose Sergachev, and they replaced Stamkos with Like, to me, Gensel for Stamkos is probably a wash at this point with Stamkos' age, and that I do worry about Tampa's D a little. Vasilevsky, though, last year wasn't as good as he normally is because he missed a bunch of time with that back surgery. Took him a little while to get back up and going. I don't think Tampa's still a contender, but I do think they're still a playoff team. Obviously, you disagree, and that's fine.
No, I just think that they're at the end. And I think when you have two teams...
Tell you what, for me, if Josh Norris stays healthy, Ottawa will be right there with Tampa battling for that last playoff spot.
But again,
if he doesn't,
I'm going to I base all of my predictions on people being healthy. I don't predict...
Yeah, no, you're right. You have to.
I don't predict, personally, people to get injured. And then what are you going to do after that?
If Linus Ullmark or Austin Matthews or Mark Scheifele or whatever goes down on night one for 6 months, but that team's boned, right? Like it's over on night one.
Yeah. And that's the truth about a lot of sports, except Kansas City in football. But
apparently.
But if you lose your starting quarter, look at what's happened with Tua not playing in Miami.
Yep.
So you lose one guy. I think Ottawa is deep up front. I worry about their defense, but I think Shabbat's going to have a better year, and I think Ullmark's going to clean up a lot of crap that, like last year, again, we've been over this all the time, but the fact that 21 times in the year they let in the first or second shot of the game and had a save percentage of like 880 throughout the regular season, that's insane.
And just sewers your confidence for
They
everybody else.
would have made the playoffs last year with goaltending in the 15 to 17 range.
Yeah, just middle of the pack.
Middle of the pack.
Yep.
Now, that's easy to say, and you can't just say, oh, well, if they had this, because obviously there are other factors.
Yep.
But they have upgraded their goaltending significantly. More importantly, the biggest change, Rick Tocchet made such a difference in Vancouver. Travis Green is going to make a mountainous difference in Ottawa because it wasn't a country club. It was DJ had his favorites.
Yep.
And it didn't matter what they did when they didn't play well.
Well, so
for Travis Green,
Jacques came in.
Yeah.
And there was initially a bit of a uptick, and then it went right back. Like, did they not respect him? Was it just, we know you're not here to stay?
No. No. I actually think the opposite. I think Jacques did a great job.
So why now do you expect
because
a
during
new coach to get their attention if the last one didn't?
No, I think he got their attention. I think what people miss in Ottawa is like, okay, Drake Batherson, for example, because he's the whipping, he's the whipping boy when it comes to So if Drake Batherson never really knew how to play proper defense in the National Hockey League, not in junior or in the American Hockey League, but in the NHL, if he really never knew that and was never held accountable, when he went through a transition period with Jacques, it wasn't like, okay, all of a sudden he's the best defensive guy. It's going to take a half a season for guys to learn, make mistakes. There wasn't a lot on the line because they were already out of it. But I do think at the end, when you talk to people, and the people I like to listen to are the people that have been around a long time, that understand the Daniel Alfredsons, the Jacques Martins. They actually, even though they didn't win games, they got better. They understood. They did things differently. And over the course of Jacques taking over, I don't care how many games they won or lost. I don't think Steve Stais and
at that point,
Michael Andlauer
lost. So instill something here, build a culture, build a system.
I think they did. And then when they brought Travis Green in, it was the perfect guy to bring in because if you didn't learn under Jacques and you thought this was just like, okay, 6 months and a new coach and then I'll be fine. No, actually you won't because he doesn't give a crap. And if you don't play well, you will not play. I don't care if your name's Brady Tkachuk or Josh Norris or Drake Batherson. You're not playing. And watch Travis Green do that in the first 2 months of the year. That's why they will be better, and they will have a leader. Their best leader right now, like everyone thinks it's Brady Tkachuk, and I'm sure it is. By the end of the year,
I think it was Yakimchuk. Terrible mistake to send him down. Sorry.
By the end of the year, yeah, you can joke about Ottawa, but if I joke about the Leafs, then it's Linus Ullmark will be their leader.
I could see that. Stability's huge.
Anyway, they're going to make the playoffs.
I got them outside, but just outside. Still a significant step forward that everyone's been waiting for.